Yo, what's up, everybody? I heard rolling around on this highway, y'all. Um, I am in somewhere in Oklahoma, just cruising. Put the camera on the road in case you don't want to be looking at my mug all day. Anyways, y'all, just decided I'd go live just to check in, do some talking. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes you get along on this road, feel like, hey, let me find somebody to talk to. Anyways, y'all, like I said, just on here. If anybody see it, if anybody jumps on, feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Whether it's about JB Hunt, might have a special guest joining me, y'all. So I'm just waiting on confirmation of that. Might be my big bro over at Life of KO. He may be joining at some point. So if you have any questions for him, or Schneider, whatever the process may be, you can feel free to ask those questions. If you got any questions about trucking or whatever like that, even video games, hey, I talk about it all. But you got any questions, man, feel free to write your questions. I'll be glad to answer them. I figured maybe this would be a better way for some drivers that want to ask some questions that they may have. Um, as far as trucking or JB Hunt or Schneider or any other companies I've worked for. I worked for Total Transportation of Mississippi out of Jackson, Mississippi. What's up there, Mr. 504? What's going on, man? I appreciate you jumping on, taking time out your day just to, check in and tap in. I appreciate that. And y'all also, for any other fellow truck drivers that also have their own YouTube channels, feel free to leave your YouTube channel name if it's different from the name that you're commenting under, or your page link, whatever it is. And we can do subscribe for subscribe. You know what I'm saying? So that way we all can attract that attention because we all have a different message we put out. Any drivers that know me, that they know PTSD, mental health is my big thing. Yeah, I'm all about lows and I want to make money, and I'm an owner operator and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, PTSD is my big thing. And making sure everybody's mental health is on point. That's very important to me. Mental health is definitely a life or death type of topic for me. But if you got any question about trucking and all that, man, all that, feel free to tap in with your questions. Okay, it says, hey, we spoke to a JB Hunt driver. He told me you guys low boards. Okay, so yeah. So what I've heard about that, um, now the knowledge I've gotten so far as the load boards, now I know that they do have two different load boards. One load board is for people with their own authority or power only load board. I've driven that load board before when I had my own authority. Um, that load board is that's their 360 load board or their carrier 360 load board. The load board that they have for independent contractors, people that are leased to JB Hunt, is called their drive load board. So yes, in that sense, there are two different load boards. So yeah, and they are two different apps. They have two different types of loads. For the power only 360 load board, that's the load board, like I said, for the people with their own authority. You can bid on loads. You can negotiate the price. On the Drive app for the independent contractors, you can't bid on that load. The rate they show is the rate that's there. With that load board, the drivers get 65% of the line haul. JB Hunt gets 35% of the line haul, but the but the driver gets 100% of the fuel surcharge. JB Hunt doesn't get any cut out of the fuel surcharge. That all goes to the driver. Oh yeah, no problem. Like I said, y'all feel free to ask any questions you have. For those of you that do or don't know me or much about me, I've been driving almost 6 years now. I had my own authority. I've driven with Landstar for a year. I was a trainer with Total Transportation and with Hirschbach out of Iowa on the Reefer Company. I was just with Schneider. I have a truck through SFI. So if you have any questions about SFI, we could talk about that too. Schneider Finance. I drove for Schneider for about 6 to 7 months. And then I just recently switched over to JB Hunt as an independent contractor about a month and a half ago. Oh yeah, man. Like now I will say this, like my honest opinion about SFI trucks, man. This truck has been amazing as far as the way it runs, the way it moves. I haven't had any issues out of this truck. The only issue I just had that I really just got fixed, honestly, was the inlet knock sensor, right? But as you know, there's nothing super duper major. And I actually got that fixed under warranty. It was that, and I just did a video about it. It was my inlet knock sensor and a hub seal leak on my passenger steer tire. I just got both of those fixed under warranty. Didn't cost me a dime. This truck has been great. When I got it, it had 171,000 miles on it. It's a 2022 Freightliner. That was the only time the check engine light has ever been on. That was the only time I had any diagnostic issues with my truck. Other than that, obviously, being truckers, you're gonna blow a tire here. I haven't blown any steer tires. Luckily, I caught those. We all know those sound like grenades when they go off. But they could blow a frame off the truck. But blew a couple drive tires that were recaps, but I got them replaced with with regular tires. And that's what I'm gonna do. As those recaps go out, I'm just gonna replace them with regular tires. And that's pretty much it. I haven't had any issues out this truck at all. It's been running like a dream. The only issue I have with the truck, honestly, is that yeah, it's a bit overpriced. I'll admit that. I ain't gonna sugarcoat that. The truck is a bit overpriced. I pay about I think 926 a week for the truck itself, and they take out an additional 226 for my maintenance account, which I have it's built up at about $3,000 right now. And I have them, I authorize them to take out an additional $100 a week to go towards my lease credit. And that lease credit can be used to cover your truck note if you decide, okay, I want to take a week off. My bills are good at home. My financial situation on point. I want to take a week off. You can have them just take the truck note out of your lease credit. And I think that's at about 600 right now because I used some of it recently when I did my switch from JB Hunt to Schneider to cover my truck note while I got everything transferred over. But yeah, y'all. Other than that, and also if any other drivers want to actually go live with me, if you want to jump on right now and you know feel like you want to add something to it, cause we just we just talking nonsense, we talking trucking, we talking everything in between. Whether you're a new driver, driving 20 years, 20 months, 20 days, it don't matter. We can all learn something from somebody else, right? If you want to, join the live itself, feel free to do so. I don't my first time going live, so I have to work on figuring out how to send the invite. But we can get that done. But other than that, like I said, I'm just sliding through Oklahoma in the moment. I'm headed to Nebraska, to Lincoln, Nebraska, to drop a load I picked up at American Tire Distributors uh, out of Roanoke, Texas. But yeah, y'all, the SFI truck has been good. I won't lie. Like I said, despite being slightly overpriced, which I may look into going to a dealership instead of holding on to this truck a little longer, which my lease is actually up in December of 2025, so I have what 2 more years on this truck. So I may hang on to it if I, if I hung on in this far, I may go ahead and hang on to it. But no, the truck's been good to me. I won't lie. It's been good. Does great on gas. Usually, my miles per gallon are about 8.1 miles per gallon. Um, I'm normally cruising at about 65 anyway. But yeah, when you get a truck from SFI, the truck is ungoverned. You can have it governed if you want to. But no, the truck is ungoverned. I can hit, if I just wanted to, I can hit 90 miles an hour. You know, that's as fast as the truck will go, but I could do it if I just wanted to. But I mean, what reason is there to be going 90 miles an hour? But you know, tell that to the damn cattle haulers. Y'all know they be flying. Like they got a damn jet engine strapped to their truck. And I have no idea why they choose to drive that fast. But I don't know. To each his own. As if you could drive it, you know, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I care less if somebody's truck goes faster than mine. I care less if I'm going 70 and they fly by me at 80. I care less about that. What I care about is if can you handle that truck at that speed? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point in driving that fast if you can't keep your truck in your lane. You know, I get it. We all swerve from time to time. We all, you know, maybe get blown by the wind or there's a change in the road. So we may go over the white line here or there. But when you just half in my lane, half in yours because you busy speeding and and not busy handling your truck, that you know, that's an issue. Like maybe you need to slow down. I know you're excited. You know, it turns you on to something to drive that fast, but chill out, bro. Anyways, y'all. Um, like I said, as far as about me, what's going on, BME Transport? Appreciate you tapping in as always. You've been, you know, you was one of the first that, you know, got my channel up and going with the comments. You won my first giveaway. Um, and so I appreciate you. I always tapped in, always, you know, threw the thumbs up or a comment. I appreciate the engagement, big time. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody tapping in. Like I said, y'all, if you ever decide you want to go live with me, you know, help me figure out how to send the invite to you. I've never done it before. This really one of my first times going live, and you know what I'm saying, we'll get that going. And if you got any questions for me, questions about, you know, the truck I have, which is from SFI, questions about where I currently drive, which I'm currently an independent contractor for Schneider. Y'all seen it? Like that truck hit a deer. Yeah, that truck that I just moved over from just hit a deer and it messed up the front of that truck. And they were out there finna scoop the deer up, I guess, and move it off the road. But anyways, y'all, if you have any questions about me, where I drove at, like I said, I started off at Covenant Transport as a team driver. That's where I first started. It was my first driving job. I ain't gonna lie, had a couple scrapes and didn't last that very long. Had a very had a terrible trainer. Um, my trainer was definitely terrible. He was too busy trying to flirt with my team partner, which I did have a female partner. She was a Hispanic woman. She was a great, you know, great person. Me and her were cool. We're still cool to this day, and that was 5 years ago. Me and her were cool, and because my trainer, he basically had a crush on her, that he would basically be trying to flirt with her while she's driving, saying little dumb stuff, right, y'all? Like ignorant stuff, talking about how her breasts moved when she hit bumps and humps in the road because she was a little, you know, top heavy. You know, that's the best PG way I could put it. She was very top heavy. So when she hit bumps, yes, her chest did jump. And he would always sit there and make comments on that, make comments about the fact that how she always hung out with me instead of spending time with him or stuff like that. And I didn't, you know, and I wasn't even trying to holler at the girl or nothing, y'all, because I'm married. You know what I'm saying? And my wife was well aware that I had a female co-pilot or, you know, co-driver. She was well aware of that. You know what I'm saying? And he would just always make comments at her then, you know, telling me how, you know, he wanted to get with her and all that. I said, look, bro, we supposed to be out here, you supposed to be training us, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to just holler at her, even though that's inappropriate as hell, if you want to holler at her, she a grown woman, you a grown man. If she want to holler at you, bro, she'll get with you. I even told him this. I said, I'll do you one better. If she just really want to get down with you like that, even though you her trainer and you ain't supposed to be crossing that line, I said, bro, I even step out of the truck and let y'all, handle that in the truck. Just put your sheets on the bed. My sheets don't need to be on the bed. Whatever like that. And I was like, man, I'll let y'all handle that. But he kept talking about I'm hating on him and that I'm basically accusing me of cock blocking him from a girl that didn't want him, that is your student, and you should just be training her and focusing on doing that, bro. So things got awkward between me and him, and she became so uncomfortable after a while that she did get off the truck. And she ended up getting on the truck with a female trainer, and she finished out her training. But the crazy part was, y'all, that she was so creeped out by what he was doing to her that she ended up just quitting trucking in general. And it's crazy that so you made somebody that uncomfortable that they decided to quit trucking because she felt like basically all men are creeps at that point. You know, so bruh definitely had his game focused. But anyways, y'all, I did that. I team trained when I was with Covenant. Yes, sir. Much respect to you as well. At BME Transport, I always gonna keep trucking, no matter what obstacles get in the way, no matter what mental health issues we all deal with. You know, just like with trucking, you gotta keep moving. Somehow, you gotta find the strength to keep moving. You gotta find the strength to keep your physical wheels turning, whether it's the truck or whether it's your legs, or you gotta keep your mental wheels turning. And that's your mindset. Because sometimes success ain't in the loads, success ain't in the rates, success ain't in the freight. Sometimes success is a mindset thing, and I've learned that too because I had my ups and downs, a fair share of ups and downs, and I have learned that success and being successful is a mindset. You have to. It ain't about faking it till you making it. You know, it's just about training yourself to believe that you can succeed out here. And I do just little simple things, celebrating the small victories. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit here and be looking at the load board all week looking for the $5,000 unicorn load. Get those short runs out the way instead of just sitting there for 2 3 days saying, man, it ain't no lows, it ain't no lows. I'm just gonna sit. I'm just gonna sit. Knock some short runs out that's gonna pay dividends. You know what I'm saying? There's some good loads out there that pay good, so you don't have to sit there and wait for the unicorn load or the golden goose load. So it's sometimes it's just a mindset thing. Oh, so that's where you were at, man. At Spider Six Truck, and you were at F2F. I've heard things about them, but I don't know a lot about them. I've heard they're kind of similar to like cloud trucks. I don't know if you know about cloud trucks or if that's true or not, but I heard they're kind of similar to how cloud trucks operate. And I've heard of cloud trucks and I've not heard great things about them. So I guess if you could shine a little more light on that. But yeah, I've only heard the rare thing about F2F. But definitely, if they're anything like cloud trucks, I can understand why you feel the way that you do. Uh, Sorry, y'all, I'm in a bad signal area. But yeah, I was a trainer at Total Transportation for about 8 months, and I trained about 5 students. I think only one of my students failed. The rest of them did pass, and it was actually my first student that ended up failing. So I felt bad as a trainer. I was like, did I not train him good enough? But it was a matter of will and skill, and it was a matter of some people just they can become good drivers, but they're unteachable. and I had to learn to stop absorbing my students. I won't say failures, but uh, stop absorbing my students' unwillingness to be taught. And I had one of those students that they knew everything, right? And y'all know the students. If you've ever been a trainer, for any of you guys watching, if you've ever been a trainer, you know this type of students I'm talking about. The ones that they know everything because they looked it up on YouTube. those those YouTube students are the worst students to train because they know everything. You know, if you let them tell it, they know everything. It's good to use YouTube as a reference. If you're looking up videos about pre-trips, looking up videos about straight backing, 45s, 90-degree turns. I'm sorry, 90-degree backing. It's good to use YouTube as a reference, but YouTube should not be your CDL instructor. That's what I was getting paid for, and so when you have a YouTube student, there's not too much you can do for them because they've already programmed themselves to move a certain way, and it's hard to break certain habits out of people who've already instilled those things within themselves. So yeah, I felt bad about that though, y'all. Even though it was on him, he couldn't he passed all his driving hours. He did everything there. He couldn't pass his driving test, his road test. Once we got back to the terminal, getting him ready for upgrade, and he was allowed to take the test 4 times, and he couldn't pass his test. So they ended up letting him go. To my knowledge, I don't know if he's still driving, but my other students that I trained, I still keep in touch with them to this day. Um, and that was 4 years ago, and I still talk to those students to this day. So it was definitely just a one-off situation. Now I did have another bad student when I became a trainer at Hirschbach Motor Lines. They're out of Dubuque, Iowa. Man, that dude, he was only on my truck for 4 or 5 days before I put him off my truck. And the reason I ended up doing that, y'all, was because he was one of those students, once again, he was one of those YouTube drivers. He knew everything because YouTube told him so. Oh, what's up, big bro? What's up, KO, man? Appreciate you joining in, man. I don't know how to send the link, but if you wanted to join the live and talk, let me know and I can try to figure out a way to send you the link. And y'all know the big bros, Life of KO on here. So if you got any questions for him about Schneider, how he run things over there, and bro run a tight ship over there. He got the lane game on lock over there. So if you have any questions about Schneider, you got the big bro himself on. He could tap in with any questions. Um, what else? Let me see on here, y'all. Yeah. So as far as the 8-2 split, Woody. All right, with the 8-2 split, from what I've heard, unless there's been any other official changes, because we just had a conference call on certain things, the last I've heard is that if you have a good month of clean logs, no violations, no over the clock stuff, verifying your logs, all that, make sure you log in your fuel breaks, log in pre-trip, your post-trip. If you got good logs for a month, you got no violations of any kind, there's from what I've heard, that there's a log test that you can take, basically to test your knowledge on logs and your hours of service, all that good stuff, right? And from there, then safety in the logs department will approve you to do 8-10 splits. But JB Hunt does have the 8-2 split. It's in the independent contractor handbook that they give you, and it shows you how to do it in the handbook. Now that was the last I heard. I don't know if they still do the test anymore, but I heard that there was a test. But yes, they do have an 8-2 split. Appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub. Yeah, man. If you Spider Trucking, man, if you want to use me as a reference, you're more than welcome to. I try not to do that because people be like, "Oh, you selling out, you selling out." But nah, man. If you just want to use me as a reference, you're more than welcome to. My referral code is LOVS12. So that's LOVS12. So you're more than welcome to use me as a reference if you want to. Well, Brandon Kelly, what's going on? Hope you're being safe out there. Said he make lease on operator money. I mean, yeah, I never heard too much about F2F, man. I always thought it was similar to cloud trucking in the sense that they're like kind of a ghost thing, and But I will say the only things I've heard in similar, I guess, with a similar thing I've heard about cloud trucking is that their MC ain't too good, so a lot of people don't want to do business with them. That's all I've heard about it so far. But yeah, y'all, man. And I'll try to see if I can put. Let's see. But yeah, y'all. So yeah, so hit me up with any questions you have, right? So like I was saying, I did Hirschbach, had this crazy student. Bro wouldn't listen for nothing. Like the first day went good, right? He was very attentive, and it sucked because his first day driving with me, and he was fresh out of Hirschbach's um, student academy or whatever, because they're one of the companies that have their own training program. Um, all right, so the load board video. The only reason I have been kind of up and down about the load board video is because I keep hearing that there's some, I ain't gonna say repercussions, but hearing that that's frowned upon because you're showing company secrets and all this other stuff. But um, now I have emailed people some clips of the load board, so you're welcome to email me at gwoodhigh03 at gmail.com, and I'll send you a load board video. I'll send you as many as you want. I'll send you whatever city and states you want, deadhead miles, show you the rates, per mile, um, whatever you want to see. But because I'm trying to do my channel legit, y'all. I don't want to get copyright striked on anything or whatever like that. So yeah, call me scared, sure, but I'm playing it safe, right? So, but yeah, Brandon, just email me at G as in golf Wood WOODHIGH03 at Gmail, and yeah, I'll send you any city, any state, um, origin, destination, however you want it. I'm just trying to play it safe until I get some confirmation that it's good. But once it's good, yeah, I'll do load board videos, no problem. Appreciate that, Spider Trucking, man. I appreciate that. For real, for real. Because you don't have to do it, and I appreciate it that you do. Um, that would be clutch for live unload. Yeah, so, and yeah, so I'm finna telling you about this doggone crazy student. The student I had, man, um, he constantly like took smoke breaks. This is a student I had when I was with Hirschbach. Constantly took smoke breaks. And I'm not trying to out here to bash the guy or nothing, but he was a good driver. His problem is when it came to backing up, he just wouldn't do it at all. When I say wouldn't do it, it's not a matter of, oh, he was a little scared. He just simply was refusing to back up when we got the shippers. But driving there, he did okay. Like any other new student, he had a problem staying in his lane. Uh, he wasn't looking 15 seconds down the road, all that Smith system stuff. You know, he had a problem staying in his lane, and he always wanted to take smoke breaks. I mean, every 2 or 3 hours, he wanted to pull over to a rest area and take a smoke break. Caused us to be late for at least 2 loads during the 4 days he was with us because of his constant smoke breaks. And I get it, it was probably anxiety being a new trucker and whatever, what have you. But them constant smoke breaks, y'all, like he was just doing too much. And then while we were in Chicago, and y'all know how Chicago get down. If you don't know how to drive, stay the hell up out of Chicago. Because Chicago, you definitely need your backing up skills. Your blind side need to be on point. Your your ability to actually look at the roads and not at your GPS needs to be on point. You need to understand that in Chicago, you will be backing up through lanes of traffic. In some places, depending on where you go, especially if you're in the heart of Chicago. Now, I ain't talking about like Joliet and Crest Hill or any of these places around Chicago, like, you know, but I'm talking about like deep in the heart of Chicago, your backup game gotta be on point because you're gonna hit something if it's not. And we get in Chicago, he absolutely shuts down. Like, I don't know where his driving skills went when we went there, but he shut down completely to the point that I just had to move him out the seat and I had to drive and back up the trailer because yeah, I didn't want him to go there during his first couple of days of driving either. I did try to advocate to get that load taken because I knew Chicago is not for the weak. But we ended up there anyway, and he just absolutely refused to back up. We had traffic held up for him, safety vests, all that good stuff, navigating traffic so he could back up into the dock because you had to back up into the street and straight line back it. It just wasn't clicking. So I had to hurry up and do it because we had traffic held up. We leave the place at night. We leaving there at about 3, 4 in the morning. He tired. And I get it. We were just sitting at the dock for about 4 hours getting unloaded. So I get it. He's tired. He's groggy. So he's like, man, can we get something to eat? I'm hungry. I'm like, yeah, man, when we get to a truck stop and we shut down for a night, most truck stops are open 24/7. Love's, Pilot, all them good stuff. Even some mom and pops are open 24/7. I'm like, man, yeah, we can go and get you something to eat. So he decides to take it upon himself. Now, remind you, we're still leaving out of Chicago to throw on his flashers, stops in the middle of the road. It's 3, 4 in the morning in Chicago. He stops in the middle of the road talking about he finna walk across the street to the McDonald's to go get something to eat. Mind you, it's 3, 4 in the morning, so the drive-thru isn't even open for McDonald's at that time. And he was trying to stop the truck to go get something to eat. I said, bro, if you get out this truck, I'm leaving you. Hey, good morning, Mr. Ramirez. Good morning, everybody who's tuning in. Hit the like button. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Um, Feel free to ask questions. Like I said, Schneider SFI. I'm just telling my story while we talking. You know what I'm saying? Until anybody else have any other questions. But feel free to ask any questions you have, y'all. I'm just running my mouth anyway. But yeah, y'all. So he tries to jump out the truck in the middle of traffic with his flashers on in downtown Chicago to try to walk to the McDonald's. And then when I told him that, if you get out this truck, I'm gonna leave you. We go a little further up the road, and we did find it was a BP gas station that did have some limited truck parking. Maybe had parking for about 3 trucks. We were able to get there and park. And mind you, it's in the winter, so it's snow everywhere. And but we did manage to get one of the 3 spots that they had. And in the midst of getting from the McDonald's to the BP, this guy ran 4 stop signs. Completely ran them. I mean, didn't stop, didn't slow down, didn't look both ways for crossing the street. Nothing. He just completely ran 4 stop signs. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You didn't see those stop signs? Oh, they're too small. I didn't notice them. I'm like, bro, this is where you should be scanning. I told you, I said a major problem you have when you're driving is that you don't look both ways. You just look straight ahead. You don't check your mirrors. I said you gotta train yourself to check those mirrors every couple seconds. Even if it don't look like your head is turning, train yourself to look at those mirrors. Because you would have saw that stop sign. It has a reflective border around it. You can see it at night. And he ran 4 of them in downtown Chicago traffic. You know I was scared. And then, the next day I'm telling him, man, we're going to go this way. Well, the GPS says go this way. I said, but man, you can't follow that GPS. That's why we have an atlas. That's why you have backup GPSs to your GPS. Bro just wasn't listening. He wanted to go that way because that's where the GPS told him to go. But we all know GPSs aren't accurate. They will lead you down a road you shouldn't be on. They will sometimes lead you down a dirt road if you allow it to. But that's where it comes where, your common sense versus their GPS sense. And I started telling him to go one way. He started looping us. We missed an appointment we got to an hour early. We missed it by an hour because, when you take the wrong turn in Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, any of these areas, you bound to end up on a loop that's going to take you probably 10, 12 miles out your way. And that's what kept happening to us. It happened 3 or 4 times. It caused us from being an hour early to an hour late. Then we get to the facility, he's refusing to back up again. Like, bro, what you doing? Like, I tried to help him with it, and he did try to do it a little bit, but when his nerves got bad, he just jumped out and took a fucking sorry for cuss, y'all. He just jumped out and took a smoke break. And it's like, bro, we in the middle of a training list. You can't be jumping out and just wanting to take a smoke break. He's like, can you just do it? My nerves are shot. And he's just puffing on the cigarette as hard as he can. So I said, I made my point. Long story short, y'all, I ain't gonna keep going in about it. Long story short, man, I just decided from that point on, I'm not training drivers that smoke because his anxiety was through the roof. He was smoking almost a pack a day. And I kid you not, because he did all the driving. I only stepped in when I had to or when we needed more hours to get to a load and we were going to be late. But he did all the driving. I was with him during the pre-trips, the post-trips, checking in at shippers and receivers. Even when I was showing him how to do that one day, we were at a shipper checking in for a load. Instead of him standing there with me or me, walking him through the process because he didn't really know what to do, he just walked out in the middle of a ship checking in at a shipper. So I had to take over and finish checking us in at the shipper. And that after that I was like, nope, I'm done training. I see my time is up. But I really stopped training at Hirschbach because I left Hirschbach to get my own truck, and that's how I ended up at Schneider with my SFI truck, doing this thing. Now, as far as Schneider, man, Schneider was good. I felt like things could have been better, of course. There were some weeks where I made good bank. And if KO is still on here, he definitely he knows way more about Schneider than I ever did. He knows the lanes better than I ever could have known them. Um, he definitely has a sense of where to go, right? But and all those lanes can be unpredictable. Rates can be even more unpredictable. Um, he does good over there. So it's always big love to him. And when anybody asks me about Schneider, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm gonna refer him to you, because I knew something I did okay at Schneider, but I could have done better. Anyways, y'all, as far as JB Hunt, right? Which I'll be doing a video about that soon. As far as my pros and cons of JB Hunt, I'm doing good over here. I did have that little mishap with Walmart and they nonsense, and I don't even want to get into that because every time I think about that, it makes me upset. It had 2 Walmarts because, if you watched my last video, you seen where I had the first incident with Walmart. And then I had this second incident, and I don't get why they couldn't just have a yard guy put that load in the door, but they're saying because I have to put the load in the door that they may try to retroactively take my payback for the load, because I did talk to my driver leader and they did go ahead and get me paid for the load. But now they're trying to go back and take the load out from me. And that's wild, y'all. That's real wild. So now I had to restructure my whole entire goddamn week just to get back to Walmart just to deliver the load. Mind you, I've already got paid for it, so I'm damn near itching not to want to go back because I did get, the chance to get paid for it. It still held up my week, and I couldn't do what I wanted, as far as gross wise. But it's like, damn, you already held my week up. Now you making me design my whole week about coming back there? Crazy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, KO man, bro. So I just got fuel yesterday at Mount Vernon, Texas, where I delivered a load there yesterday. I believe it was to the Lowe's. Uh, I just got fuel over there at the Loves in Mount Vernon, Texas, for 3.23 a gallon. Yep, 3.23 a gallon. Now the pump price was 3.96, but with JB Hunt discount, I got fuel for 3.23 a gallon. It is hard to beat that price anywhere, so you know I filled up. And I believe their def was about 3.89, which is still, that's pretty cheap too, considering def in most places is about 4.19 right now, or 4.29. I've even seen it as high as. But yeah, just filled up the whole tank off off that one, cause I mean, who wouldn't? But yeah, man, that fuel discount, y'all, that fuel discount was definitely a big reason. Now the loads are good. I'm seeing better loads at JB Hunt. For those of you who want to know, I'm seeing better rates. Um, I'm seeing more lows that are at least consistently at the $2 mark. Yeah, you see some low lows. Yeah, you're going to see lows that probably only cover your gas money. You're going to see lows, and you're going to think, who the hell would run that? But there are also lows that you see those lows, and you're like, oh my God, nobody's booked that load yet. Like the load I just ran up was like, after JB Hunt's cut, it was about $4 a mile. The load I did in West Virginia. It's like, man, that was a quick little run. Maybe took 5 hours out my day. Boom, knocked that out. At $4 a mile, that's easy money. And if I had found another load that would have sent me right back to the same place I had came from to pick that load up, I would have ran it again. Same day. Could have knocked out an easy 2,000 in one day. Hell, I'd run a dedicated just doing that back and forth. And it was a Frito-Lay load, so the load was light. I believe that load was like 11,000 pounds, 11, 12,000 pounds. And, that's essential for some mountain running. It's good to have that little light stack. Yeah, man, that discount is definitely premium. That's what I'm telling you, because I had talked to your bro, man. I had talked to J Rock about it, and when he told me how legit that fuel discount was, I said, man, say less. That's all you had to tell me was that fuel discount. Cause one thing that can eat us up out here, y'all drivers, y'all all know, man. One thing that eats you up out here is that fuel discount. Other than your truck note, if you have one, other than repairs, if you need them or not, your biggest expense by far is the damn fuel. So when you can save money on fuel, and I mean, off a fill up or two, depending on how hard you're running that week, I'm saving anywhere to $300 to $400 a week just on fuel because of the discount. And when you, like I said, when you getting fuel at 3.23 a gallon, when you go most places and the fuel at the pump price is down there 4.96, 4.76, 4.65, all of that, but then you tap in with JB Hunt and you paying 3.23. The fuel I got before that was 3.36 a gallon at a Love's. I can't remember what Love's I was at. I could pull up the receipts for it, and I'll probably post them on my next video. And I'll post the receipts for this one too. Because if I tell y'all a number, I got screenshots to back it up. But anyways, y'all, man, when you getting discounts like that, it helps a lot. Yes, of course, it's only a small part of the puzzle. You still got to have some good running loads, because getting cheap fuel don't mean nothing if you're getting cheap loads. But the loads have been good. I definitely see that they have some big runs, some east to west coast. They have some California runs. that do pay good sometimes. Those loads don't pay good all the time, because you'll see them like 1,700 miles, but it's only paying like $3,000. Obviously, nobody's gonna do that. But then, you'll see it sometimes where it's like 1,700 miles and it's paying $5,000 or $6,000. Okay, you might convince me to make that trip. If you talking, 1,700 miles and you paying what 61? Let's say I've seen it as high as what 6,100 before JB Hunt's cut. So imagine after JB Hunt's cut for them 1,700 miles, that load's probably paying about, let's just say 4,500, 4,800. Okay, if it's a light enough load, you might convince me to slide with that one. So yeah, y'all, and like I said, y'all see the big homie Life of KO is on here. If you got any questions for him, hit him up. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. Go hit that like button. You know you like this video when that button turn blue or turn white. Hit that button until it do that. Subscribe to his channel, y'all. Hit him up. If you got any questions or concerns for him, tap in with your boy. But yeah, y'all, man, that discount is straight up legit. I've sent a couple people load videos already. I don't mind answering any questions you have, whether it's about me with trucking, or hell, I was in the army, so I'm a veteran. Questions about that, whatever like that, go army all day long. But yeah, y'all, man, it's that discount is just I could talk about it all day, man. But I'm not going to do that. Okay, so oh yeah, man, KO, I'm sorry, man, I missed your question, man. So as far as who got the better load board, I don't know, bro. It's kind of a mixed bag. One of the biggest things Schneider has over JB Hunt is the fact that you know what you're getting into a sense. But it's just like JB Hunt where if you don't know what customer you're going to till you book the load, it just shows the city and state. But where Schneider has the advantage is that it clearly tells you if a load is a live unload or a drop and hook. It has a little orange trailer. You know how it go. But for those who don't know, on the Schneider load board, if there's an orange trailer next to the origin or destination, then that means it's a drop and hook on both ends. If it's an orange trailer next to the origin and the destination, if it's an orange trailer next to just the origin or the destination, that means on one end or the other you're getting live loaded or live unloaded. And Schneider is definitely way more upfront with what you're getting into. With JB Hunt, sometimes you don't know because you'll be, most of us are going to think, okay, we see an all day appointment. We see 12:01 a.m. to 11:55 p.m. In our mind, we're saying drop and hook, drop and hook. That's a drop and hook. That's an all day appointment. But just like what happened with Walmart, I get there and that's how I book my load 12:01 a.m. to 11:55 p.m. all day. That's how I believe I even screenshotted it if I can find it. That's how I booked it. But then I get there and they tell me I got a 5:15 live unload appointment. So that's why JB Hunt went to bat for me to be like, no, that's not how that worked. But just because of legal reasons, I have to go back and put that load in a door. Straight BS. But yeah, that's the biggest that's the biggest thing I would say Schneider has over JB Hunt's load board is the transparency. Also, another thing I do miss about Schneider's load board is that, they show you the rate period. The rate you see is the rate to the truck. So it ain't a lot of guesswork involved. You ain't got to figure out, okay, what's Schneider's 35% cut, this, that, and that. What are they taking? You see it right there. One big thing Schneider's JB Hunt load board does have over Schneider is that it does show you the line. It shows you the line haul, which JB Hunt only gets 35% of the line haul. They don't touch your fuel surcharge. You get 100% of that, and it shows you your fuel surcharge, so you know what that is. You don't have to wear. You don't know what they're taking. Unless I think for those who have that legacy load board, maybe they can see their fuel surcharge. But that all in one, we ran off of, it only showed you just everything included, what you're getting to the truck, which is good because there's less math involved. But for people who like to see their numbers, they may be irritated by that. As far as the loads itself, man, the loads and lanes are actually kind of the same. Like a lot of the Frito-Lay lanes, some I've seen you run, some I've seen J-Rock run. A lot of those loads are the same. Mostly everywhere you go, as far as JB Hunt, there's Schneider there. It's either JB Hunt, Schneider, and Landstar. You're gonna see them all kind of clumped up together, especially with those Frito-Lay runs. So yeah, the load boards are very similar. Now I will say, JB Hunt has better pay for some of the loads because I look at some of the loads that I used to run at Schneider, and I've run some of those same loads, especially out of Byhalia, Mississippi. I've run some of those same runs with JB Hunt, and I did get paid more for those runs. But that could probably be hit or miss, whatever like that. Because JB Hunt, we just did a conference call about that. They just did close on a new account with Frito-Lay, so they're going to be opening up some more Frito-Lay lanes, which y'all know, anybody who ever run Frito-Lay, you know those loads are light, and they tend to pay well. They usually, hitting, you know, $2 and up. And I know $2 don't sound like a lot of money to some super truckers, but hey, when the rates the way they are right now, $2 a mile is amazing. You at least making a profit off of that load. You ain't just riding for gas money, or as I call it, one of those go home loads where you just take whatever rate you can because you're just trying to get by the crib. Uh, oh, I'm sorry, Coupon Universe. I'm just now seeing your message, man. Um, as far as empties, man, that it's easier now that I know what to do. But when I first started, yeah, they had your boy on the trailer hunt, just like I did at Schneider that one time I made the video about. But yeah, no, finding empties is actually better now. They do respond pretty quickly. If you tell them you need an empty, they usually get with you within a quick amount of time. I think the longest I've had to wait for a message about an empty was about 30 minutes. And that didn't really bother me any because um, I was doing my 30-minute break anyway. I had just dropped the trailer. I was still attached to it at a facility, but there were no empties there. So I just stayed hooked up to my load. And then I, did my 30. By the time I got done with my 30, they had me a trailer ready. Boom, and we ain't got it. And most of the times I did have to go get a trailer, I was able to actually pick up a trailer, and I've done videos about those in most cases in the same city that I'm picking my load up in. So super convenient. Like the load I just ran on my last video for Wayfair out of Greensboro, North Carolina. I didn't have an empty after I dropped my last load because someone took my goddamn empty. And I made a video about that. Like, how the hell you took my empty and I'm there getting live unloaded, but you took my damn empty when they were done live unloading it. Anyways, I was able to actually find an empty in Greensboro, North Carolina, that was only about 10 miles away from where I was picking my load up at. So I didn't go out of my way. It was convenient. So far, the trailer hunt game has not been as bad as it was with Schneider. But once again, I've only been here for about a month and a half. Things could probably get worse. But no, so far the trailer hunt game is actually it's been pretty smooth so far. Um, haven't had any issues, real issues finding a trailer, or any like wasted time finding a trailer. Plus, living in Pensacola, I know they have a Frito-Lay account there. And just like they did with Schneider, I've run that load with Schneider before. And anytime I'm at home and I need an empty, I just go over to the Frito-Lay and grab an empty. I know the gate code. They don't have an issue with me. They know my face when I come there. I just boom, pop in the gate code, go in there, grab an empty, sweep it out, and I'm out of there. So no, trailers actually haven't been too bad. Even when I got out of orientation, they sent me right to get a trailer. I had a load that I was going to be picking up in Opelika, Alabama. I picked up an empty in Opelika, Alabama. So definitely the empty game has been better so far, but we'll see how it is sliding into the holiday season. Uh, Appreciate you tapping in over at Major Transport LLC. Um, road stability, no, like I believe if you're referring to like the critical events, like how Schneider sometimes will hit you with a critical event saying road stability or road stability. Um, no, they don't do that. You don't get critical events like that here. Now, your geotab thing will tell you certain situations like, if you're in a construction zone, it'll say watch your speed. If you go about 10 miles over, you may get a geotab thing that it's just like a notification that just says watch your speed or it'll say construction zone. But things for like they're trying to say like you're rolling the truck or anything like that. No, you don't get any calls about that. You don't have to talk to anyone about that. You don't have to get any coachings about any of that. Because when I was at Schneider, if you get a critical event, like I said, a road stability, a hard braking, anything like that, you have to talk to your driver leader within 24 hours of the event. And they got to coach you on it, ask you what you could have done differently and all of that. And I get it. Schneider's big on safety. They're big on safety. I try not to look at it as nagging or a nuisance, but they're big on safety. And but it can be irritating, especially when you didn't do anything to trigger that critical event, or that critical event that did get triggered was out of your control. Because I know my truck used to trigger road stability, um, not because you actually rode the truck, but because the truck felt like you were going too fast for a turn. Even though you as a driver had the skill level to navigate that turn safely or that curve or that exit ramp safely, if the truck felt like you were going to roll, it would trigger the event. There were plenty of calls I got where my driver leader was like, you weren't even going fast, you were going the speed limit, and it would still trigger. Or if it was an uneven lane on a road and it caused my truck to kind of wobble, when one side of the road is paved and the other isn't. I've gotten road stabilities triggered off of that. So it does happen, but at JB Hunt, no. I've been here, like I said, about a month and a half, about 6 weeks. I've not gotten one call about a critical event. I've not gotten one call or notification about watch your speed, watch your lane. What could we have done differently here or there? And yeah, like any other person, there have been times where I was probably 5 miles over at a time here or there. But that was mostly just kind of passing, other slower drivers, or I ain't gonna say slower, but other drivers that were cruising way under the speed limit. But yeah, y'all, no, with JB Hunt, they're way more lax on that certain type of thing. Now, what JB Hunt does do a lot of is mandatory conference calls. They're usually just safety calls. You don't really even have to chime in or anything like that. They're usually just calls about safety or any new changes, like the conference call we just had about new lanes open up, new hazmat loads opening up, which I do have my hazmat, and from what I've been told, JB Hunt is about to start incorporating a new set of hazmat loads for people who have that. And they're actually going to be doing some new updates to a load board. They're working on an upgrade to the load board. I'm not sure when they're supposed to be rolling that out. I'll try to get more information for y'all. Hopefully by the next time I go live, I have more information on it, but they are rolling out an upgrade to the load board. So other than that, that's pretty much it on that. As far as taking deleted trucks, yes. Now, from what I've heard, because someone did ask about that when I was in orientation. As long as you're the guy even stated that they don't care about the year necessarily of your truck, as long as your truck is ELD compatible, meaning that they can install an electronic, log device. You know what it is. As long as they can install an ELD on it and it can pass a DOT inspection, then delete it or not, they don't care. Now, California, may take issue with that because they have their own, they have the whole carb thing going on over there. But no, so you probably won't be able to go to California with a deleted truck. And I could be wrong on that. Somebody can, feel free to correct me. Sorry, y'all. Stupid lane departure. No, that was the side guard assist thing saying that somebody was in my blind spot. Anyways, y'all, California may take issue with a deleted truck, but JB Hunt does not. Hypothetically, you can, but you would have to work around the fact that the app will tell you that it is disabled because you're driving, and it has a button that you can press to say no, I'm not driving. So in that hypothetical situation, you would just be constantly prompted that the app is disabled because you're driving, and then you'll be constantly prompted to have to say that no, I'm not driving. So that answers that. Now that was one advantage you had with with Schneider, um, that in a hypothetical situation, like there were times where, for example, I was at home and my wife was driving, in our personal car, and I decided, hey, I'm in the passenger seat, I'm just looking up loads. With Schneider, you can look at the load board while you're driving. You just have to kind of like confirm that you're not driving, and it will allow you to to surf the load board. So you can do that because I've done it, like I said, while my wife was driving, and I'm in the passenger seat. I just let it know that I'm not driving. Boom, I guess go through the load board without being constantly prompted. Oh yeah, man, I don't go there either. Like now, I will admit, JB Hunt has some good loads going out to California. They're not always good, but the ones I have seen going to like Modesta, and some other places in California I've seen, I can't remember the names. They have some good loads going out there. These loads are paying good dividends too. I just haven't went because most of the loads I've seen are heavy. That could be about a 4-day drive, especially like coming out of Texas. They have some good loads going from California to Texas, California to Kansas, Texas to Colorado, um, Wyoming, El Paso, out to Arizona. Stuff like that. Like they have some good loads going that way, but it's definitely a situation where you need to book yourself good going there and book yourself coming out before you even go. You need to already be booked going and coming. But nah, man, I don't go to California. It has been, I think the last time I went to California was about 4 or 5 years ago. So I don't see myself going there anytime soon. Just because California is super strict. And yeah, my first time going to California, I did ended up getting a citation for my tandems. They don't play about the tandems. California is one of those states. They super hard on truckers. Plus the fuel there is ridiculous. That's why those loads pay so good. So definitely fuel up big time before y'all go that way. I've heard fuel over there can be $5, $6 a gallon. And even with JB Hunt's discount, I don't want no part of that. So I'll let the professional truck drivers handle California for me. But no, it's a matter of like if you fuel up before you go, if you're if all your paperwork, your truck is in tip top shape, hey, California is all yours. But hell no, I ain't going on no time soon. I ain't with it. But yeah, man, y'all, it's like I said, Phil, I appreciate. Let me stop. Let's just say I appreciate all the love, y'all. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the tapping in. Like I said, the big bro over at Life at KO, um, Top Notch Schneider, I see. Um, he's on as well. So if you got any questions for him, you can tap in with him. He doesn't mind. Make sure you go subscribe. everybody, y'all, like I said in the beginning of this video, as far as my fellow truckers, man, if y'all got your own YouTube channel, you're doing your own videos, uh, you can leave your, feel free to comment your link to your channel if it's different from the name that you're commenting under. And we can all go subscribe to your channel. We can check out your content as well. If y'all ever want to do any joint lives with me or with anything like that, we can do a joint live where y'all could both jump on and we could do a whole conference thing. And we could talk about anything and whatever like that. Whether it's trucking, gaming, mental health, y'all know all these things are important to me. I ain't I'm gonna rap about it every time because that's just who I am. You know, I got to keep that mental health on point because that's what keep you laser focused out here. That's what keeps your eyes on the prize. That's what keeps your head, on a swivel. That's how you maintain your consistency. And like the bro said, consistency is key, no doubt. Because it's good to make a big check every now and then, but if that big check ain't consistent, you know, that can become a problem. So you wanna make that consistent money. Don't be so caught up on $4,000 a week that you not acknowledging the 1,500, this week. So you're chasing that big buck and could end up with nothing. Make that consistent money. Don't worry, that paper gonna stack. Anywho, y'all, man, I'm still sliding through Oklahoma at the moment. I'm about 4 hours, 261 miles away from my drop. I'm going to try to see if they'll let me drop it today. I highly doubt it because this load is set for a 6 a.m. live unload tomorrow. Oh God, I don't want to get up at no 6 a.m. But it's set for a 6 a.m. live unload. But I'm going to try to see if they'll let me drop it today. If not, I mean, hell, I'll be close by, so boom, drop it in the morning, keep it trucking. My next load after this is going to pick up over in God, where does it pick up? Because I had to change my loads because I didn't realize I booked the damn load, and I had like a 600-mile deadhead on that load. Y'all know I'm not gonna do that. They'll never get that serious. I sit a day before I deadhead 600 miles. So it was a load I had booked in error though. But I went back and got that taken off, and can't remember when the next load picks up at in Kansas. It's somewhere in Kansas going to Independence, Missouri. And if any of y'all know about Independence, Missouri, you already know how Independence, Missouri get down. If y'all remember one of the very first videos I did, Independence, Missouri is over there where they have that cave system. Have any of y'all ever been in them caves over there in Missouri? That cave system is wild, man. I can't believe I even actually consciously, purposely booked the load to go back that way. But hell, it makes for good content. But man, if you've never been in that cave system, go back and look at one of my earlier videos. It's like one of my earlier shorts. I think I did posted here on YouTube. That cave system is wild. It's definitely an experience. If you don't know how to look at your mirrors, if your backup game is not on point, if your get out and look game is not on point, that cave system will have you boy, it'll have you sweating. Yeah, major transport. That cave system, it is not it is not a place you want to come in joking. It is not a place you want to come in distracted. You won't even have a cell phone signal down there. The only reason I was able to record a video is because I just recorded it on my phone, and obviously you don't need a signal to do that. And I just posted it later when I got out. But that place, and then that was the place I went to when I was in the cave system, y'all. I had to blindside back up around a curve. So you're already in this tight cave. And when I say cave, I literally mean a damn cave. It's an underground cave system that has a whole bunch of different shippers and receivers in it inside of a fucking cave. And I had to blindside back around a corner then blindside back all the way down a street just to blindside back into the dock because there was no way to do a turnaround. That was the only way you could get backed up to a door down there was to do a blindside back around the corner. Like you had to pass by the place, line yourself up. Sorry, y'all, losing my voice. You had to line yourself up next to the curb and blindside back around a corner all the way down the street and then blindside back into the door. Luckily, I did have a gentleman that helped me get into the helped me get in where I was, so it wasn't as terrifying. But God knows if he wasn't there, well, man, I'd have caused a cave in. Cause I mean, although I was getting out and looking, it's just like blindside backing is something that if you don't do it every day, or you're not in a situation where you have to do it often, and your skills aren't sharp, your mirror game ain't on point, you might as well go ahead and get your insurance company on the line. Oh God, no. With 3 months of experience, with 3 months of experience, don't even look at the cave. Your CDL ain't good enough to even look at that damn cave. I don't care if you got a trainer with you. At 3 months, don't bring your ass up in that cave. Just don't do it. Batman ain't up in there. The Justice League ain't up in there. It ain't nothing but up in there but traps. Might be a damn bear up in there. Who knows? But you know, don't go in that cave system if your backup game is not top notch. You're gonna hit something. You're gonna scrape your truck, you're gonna scrape the trailer, you're gonna knock your mirror, you're gonna hit somebody, you're gonna hit somebody's truck. It is not for no the rookie drivers. And what when I went in there, I think I was with Hirschbach. Or was I? I was either with Hirschbach or I was with or I was under my own authority at the time. But either way, y'all, don't go in there. Stay the hell away from that cave. There's other cave systems like that. I can't remember where they are. But Independence, Missouri, man, I suggest you go somewhere to a parking lot and practice your blind sides somewhere before you step off in that cave. I'm sorry y'all to be going in about that, but it is bad. Now, if you have now 1 year of experience, I say you're good to go in the cave. Like if it's one year of, like I said, if it's dedicated experience and you live in that area, then you should be good to go in that cave because, like I said, if it's dedicated, that means you're dealing with that cave on at least a daily to weekly basis, so you can navigate it, well with a year of dedicated experience, if that's what you're referring to. But if you have no idea about how them caves work, and you're, like I said, a rookie driver, you're 3 months in, you're fresh off the trainer truck, man. If they tell you you're going to that cave, you better ask them for another load. If they tell you, hey, we got you a load going to Independence, Missouri, you better tell them no the hell you don't. I'm telling you, take it from me. Stay the hell away from there if you knew. I'm 5. I'll be 6 years in here come March, and some people may still say, even with 5 or 6 years of experience, that I'm a rookie driver. And okay, I'll take that. I'm not officially an old head yet. I figure like 10 years under your belt or more makes you an old head, and I'm not an old head yet. So I don't know everything about trucking, and I never will. And there are some old heads that don't know nothing about trucking. You just been out here a long time. You don't know, they don't know a damn thing sometimes. And cause just because you've been trucking longer don't mean you know more. You just been trucking longer. That's just simple fact of what it is. Anyways, y'all, man. I said, for any of y'all, man, y'all got any other questions about Schneider, SFI? Y'all hit the like button, man. I appreciate the love. Definitely tap that like button for your boy. It helps out in ways. It helps out the algorithm, helps us get the reach out. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If y'all haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please tap in and subscribe. comments. Boom. Ask all any questions you got for me about JB Hunt, about Schneider, about having your own authority. I did have my own authority. That's where the name Love Life Trucking comes from. Y'all heard me say it a lot on some of my intros to my videos. You know, I'll be like, "Oh, it's your boy Love Life Trucking." It's because I did have my own authority. My LLC is still active. Because at some point, someday, I may return to that when the market gets right. Until then, I'm happy right here where I'm at because I can use my SFI truck to go under my own authority. So yeah, that's the great thing about an SFI truck. You can start your own authority with it. You can do what you want with this truck. That's what makes you an owner operator and not a lease purchase driver. A lease purchase driver or a lease operator is someone who is leasing a truck from a company, and you can only drive that truck for that company. You know, you get you experience all the things of an ownership, for the most part, but you can't take that truck with you if you decide, okay, I hate to say super ego name because woo Jesus, I bet we all got war stories about them, or you heard a war story about super ego, and I have some of my own. But you can't take their truck or any other company's truck and just go wherever you want. But with SFI, because SFI is a, let's just say it's a partner of Schneider and it's not solely connected to Schneider, even though it's named Schneider Finance, you cannot, with an SFI truck, you can take that truck wherever you want to. If you want to go to from Schneider to JB Hunt, from JB Hunt to Landstar, from Landstar to Mercer, Mercer to F2F, from F2F to your own authority, you can do all of that with their truck. Now, there are transfer fees for doing so if you have an SFI truck. There are transfer fees. The fee I had to pay to go from Schneider to JB Hunt was $500. I didn't have to pay an extra security deposit because they told me that if you waited 6 months before you transfer, then I didn't have to pay an extra security deposit. But in some cases, you will still pay an extra security deposit. Like, because I was going to go to Landstar. I will admit that JB Hunt was not my first choice. Landstar was my first choice. But my SFI rep told me that right now I said the smart. My SFI rep told me that the spot market is not great right now, and she don't think that Landstar would be the best move for me to make, considering the current landscape of things. Now she said maybe try Landstar next year, but as of right now, she highly suggests not to do that, and she didn't have to do that, y'all. I mean, she didn't have to give me that tip, and I didn't make my decision not to go solely based on what she said, but it was the simple fact that she has no dog in that fight about whether I go to Landstar or JB Hunt. She could care less. All she could care less, no, all she needs to care about really as an SFI rep is whether I'm making my payment on time or not, which I am. She didn't have to throw that tidbit of information out there to kind of help me be successful. So I did appreciate that. But yeah, Landstar was my first choice because I did work there for a year and a half. Well, about a year. I left Landstar to get my own authority, and I had my own authority for a year and a half with a truck I had got from a place called LRM Leasing out of Pompano Beach, Florida. I did a video about that. Y'all see my truck about my LRM experience. Um, they do no, they don't do credit checks. Your down payment is going to be up there though. I paid $8,000 down for my truck, but it could be much higher now because truck prices kind of went up and then they kind of not went up. But yeah, y'all. So if you got any questions about getting your own authority, I did have my own authority for a year and a half. I mostly ran a lot of JB Hunt's freight off their original 360 load board app, which they do have two of them. For those of you who didn't see me talk about that earlier or hear me talk about it earlier, they do have two load boards. One is for people with their own authority, and one is for their independent contractors. You know, the guys that are leased to them. But yeah, I mostly ran a lot of their freight between them, Landstar, of course, everybody's done TQL, CH Robertson, Coyote, Convoy, um, you know, I even, you know, I even did some super ego freight. So like, um, you know, it's different stuff you could do with your own authority. You know, obviously I made a bigger piece of the pie, but you know, there's a lot more hands in the pie too, because you got a lot more financial responsibility. So you're making a lot more money, but you have a lot more financial responsibility. So you got to know how to walk that line between just because you're making a lot of money, don't mean you have a lot of money to spend. And that's a hard line for people to walk. Because I'm like, yo, I see big numbers. I'm thinking, ooh, big things. No, you got some taxes. You got other, you know, all that other boring stuff, man. But yeah, y'all. All right. So, is JB Hunt better than Schneider? That's a question I do get a lot. And my, sorry, y'all, I'm losing my voice. Jesus, hold on, y'all. Drink break. All right, cool. So, is JB Hunt better than Schneider? In my point of view, still losing my damn voice. I'm on old man mode right now. In my point of view, JB Hunt has some things that are better than what I've seen at Schneider. You know, and I could kind of do a breakdown of it for you. All right, as far as lows, I know that's the most important thing, right? As far as lows, I've seen so far, I have seen better paying lows at JB Hunt. JB Hunt, I mean, Schneider did have some good paying lows, but just like JB Hunt, so this is where they're both alike, you need to be on top of that load board, never waiting till the last minute. Try to always be booked out a week in advance. Like even now, after this load that I delivered tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I already have 3 loads booked to cover my next week. Always be booked out a week in advance, especially with Schneider, because if you're not, you're gonna end up with the sloppy seconds and the dirty thirds. You're gonna end up getting the lows that are probably running at $1.10 a mile, $1.20 a mile. You might get $1.50 a mile, and that's just being honest. Um, I can tell you one area where JB Hunt is most definitely better than Schneider, and it is the fuel discount. Fuel discount at Schneider, it varies, usually on a bi-weekly basis, usually weekly, bi-weekly basis. And during my time there, it ranged from about 20 cent at the lowest to I've heard it get up to 50 cent at the highest. But from what my time, you know, I experienced was 20 cent at the lowest to about 44 cent at its highest. Usually they give a 10 cent more difference for like 4 states. I think it's like Washington, Arizona, Oregon, some of those northeast states. You get like an extra 10 cent off the gallon. But their fuel discount only applies to Pilot and Flying J. You can use their fuel card anywhere as far as Schneider. You can use it at Exxon. You can use it at BP. You can use it at Valero. You can use it at Ambest, Roadrunner, Roadies, Rudders, Sheets. Wherever you can use a fuel card, you can use their fuel card. Any mom and pop truck stops as well. Um, just like you can with JB Hunt, but JB Hunt's discount. I've had fuel like just yesterday, just the other day. I got fuel at a Love's for 3.23 a gallon. The pump price was 3.96. I got it for 3.23 a gallon. So JB Hunt's fuel discount is leaps and bounds beyond Schneider's. The most I've gotten off a gallon in some places was about $1.10 off the gallon, off the pump price. Schneider's fuel discount doesn't come anywhere close to that. Even Mudflap does not beat JB Hunt's discount in certain places. They most definitely have the best discount, and their discount isn't just exclusive to Pilot and Flying J like Schneider's is. JB Hunt's fuel discount goes everywhere, even Love's, TA, Petro, Ambest, Quick Trip, Speedway, Exxon, 19, Mr. Fuel, Chevron. They get discounts everywhere. And if they don't, then yeah, you're just paying the pump price. And in some cases, you will just pay pump price. But obviously, if you can get a discount, why would you go pay pump price? I wouldn't dare go pay $4.25 a gallon for fuel right here. When if I go 5 miles up the road, I can go to a TA, and instead of paying $4.25 here, I can go to that TA and pay $3.50. You know what I'm saying? It makes much more sense to just hunt the discount. And they have a fuel app. It's like their WEX card control app. You go in there and it shows you, and you can actually put your trip on there. So let's say you're going from Dallas, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia. You type that in, it will show you all the fuel pumps between, based on a given route between Dallas, Texas and Atlanta, Georgia, and show you what the prices at those pumps are. Well, your discounted price that those pumps are. So you know how to plan your trip better, so you know where to get your fuel at. Because you'll be mad if you got that fuel for $4 a gallon here, when if you just drove an extra hour up the road, if your fuel tank allowed it, and got gas for damn near $1 cheaper, 50 cents cheaper, 60 cents cheaper, 80 cents cheaper. So comparison there's no comparison. JB Hunt is on a different level when it comes to the fuel discount. Um, yeah, so Houston, I actually deliver a couple loads to Houston. Now those loads can be heavy. I've delivered some West Rock loads, and West Rock, they're the paper people. Those big giant rolls of paper. So I've delivered some loads to Houston. Uh, they're right off of I-10. I live in Pensacola, Florida. So that I live off near I-10, and so I've delivered loads to Houston. There's Hutchins, Texas. They have a lot of loads out of Hutchins, Evadale or Evadale. Uh, they also have a West Rock there. They deliver. Their loads actually pay good. The loads are heavy, yes, because paper loads are never going to be light, but those loads actually pay well. I've ran those loads at about 220, 230 a mile from Texas to Georgia, Texas to Alabama, um, Texas to Connecticut, not Connecticut, Jesus, Kentucky. So yeah, they have some good loads in the Houston area, like I said, Houston, Evadale, Hutchins, San Antonio, kind of that whole South Texas vibe. So they do have loads in that area. Now, them loads may not keep you southeast. Like I said, those loads may go up north from there. But, and they do have loads, like I said, that go to Georgia and stuff like that if you kind of want to do a back and forth between Georgia and Texas. Just stay ahead of the load board and you can definitely see those loads. If you want to email me, I can even try to send you a clip of the load board. So you can email me at gwoodhigh03@gmail.com. And I can send you a clip of the load board when I start driving, of course, as far as the loads that are in the Houston area. Um, oh, look like there was an accident down there. I don't think y'all can see it, but it looks like a Prime truck was in an accident. Hope they're okay though. There's a lot of police down there. Anyways, yeah. They definitely got loads in the Houston area. You just got to be on top of them. I've ran them before. They're good paying loads. Usually paying, I think at the cheapest I've seen one about $1.80. Like I said, I've ran one for about $2.30, $2.20, $2, which is good, considering how crappy rates can be right now. Um, any other questions or concerns y'all got? Y'all feel free to tap in with your questions or concerns. Hit that like button if anything I said has been helpful to y'all, entertaining, gave you kind of insight on how you want to move. Feel free to hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe. Hit your boy up. I don't mind answering any questions, any criticisms, any concerns, any feedback, just anything you have for me. You know, as long as you come at it with respect, I'll gladly answer that for you. It's all good. It's all love. You know, respect gets respect. Even if it's a negative comment, right? Even if you don't like my channel, if you don't like my driving, you don't like the way I edit my videos, man, we can talk about it. I'm still gonna do me, you know, because it's my channel, and anybody else who has a channel on here should do the same. But I'll respect your opinion, and we can chop it up about that, because that's just the type of guy I am. Other than that, y'all, I think if nobody has any further questions or concerns, I may go ahead and just wind things up here. But I appreciate the love, y'all. This is my first live. If y'all want me to go live more, just tell me what'll be the best times for y'all to go live, and we could talk about whatever you want to talk about, or you could join me on the live. You can always join me on the live. I can send you an invite or a link, and you can join me on the live, and you can chime in. You can tell your story. You can, you know, I don't care. You can promote your own channel, even on mine. You know, we can promote together, because it's enough loads out here. It's enough freight. There's enough subscribers. There's enough comments for all of us to eat, and for all of us to be informative and to pass on your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to get your blessing, is to pass it on to others. When somebody bless you, bless someone else. You know, that's how we all eat out here. That's what I mean by that. If somebody blessed you, bless someone else. If an old head gave you some knowledge, and it's some good sound knowledge, pass the knowledge on to your fellow trucker, because they may not know. They might have more experience than you, but they might not have more knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So pass that on to the next person. Everything, you know, can be done with respect, and that's how we all get down out here. Anyways, y'all, um, yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, you have a great day as well. Would I ever go back to being a company driver? I almost did. Almost did. Um, it was a situation where, like I said, I was getting ready to leave Schneider because I wasn't profiting as much as I wanted to. I was actually looking into going flatbed. I was going to go to TMC. Sure, you know who TMC is? They're, you know, basically one of the top flatbed companies. Maybe not top as in pay, but they're top as in just they're well known for flatbed. It's all they do. They have those nice black trucks. Oh my God, I will get them that. Those trucks are goddamn not flatbed. Just to drive one of those trucks. Those trucks are beautiful. I've seen the inside of the trucks. I even had talked to a recruiter at some point. So I was actually because I felt like I wasn't profiting, and I didn't want to get myself into the negative with SFI or with Schneider, which I'm not, but I felt like I was at the time. Yeah, I was actually going to go to TMC, and I was going to do flatbed. I was going to give up my SFI truck. I was going to turn it in, and I was going to go to TMC because I am interested in doing flatbed. I have pulled flatbed loads before when I had my own authority, but they were already strapped and the short distance. About most of the flat I've only pulled them maybe about 300 to 500 miles. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I almost did go back to being a company. Yeah, you don't have to worry about maintenance. You don't have to worry about fuel. All you have to worry about is driving that truck. Let me slow down, y'all. This speed limit dropped from 65 to 45 real quick. You know, that's how the police get you when that speed limit change suddenly like that. Boom, the lights hit you. But I've never had a speeding ticket, so we gonna keep it trucking. I've been pulled over. I've never gotten a ticket or a warning. You know, so anyway, but yeah, would I if I ever did company driver, I would do flatbed, just because I'm interested in it. And for some people, I've heard it's just a great way to stay in shape. That being a flatbed driver, like I said, is more physicality, is more in and out the truck. So it's, you know, it's the exercise aspect. It's, you know, feeling healthier. Flatbed has its own challenges, of course, but if I did, yes, I would go to TMC. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but that's my educated, uneducated answer to your question is that if I did become a company driver, it would be at TMC. And I would do that long enough to become an owner operator again and just do flatbed. So, but if I became, at any rate, if I became a company driver, no matter where I went, it would not be long term. It would be a stepping stone to get back to where my heart truly lies, and that's carving my own path, being an owner operator. That's just where my heart is. There's nothing against company drivers or anything like that. It's a matter of, I kind of like to beat to my own drum. So I don't want to kind of be forced to go places or run loads I don't really want to run. And obviously, as a company driver, you don't have much say over where you go. As y'all can see, we got the one-lane traffic going on here. Guess they got some construction going on or something, or they're fixing the roads. Or usually it's fixing the roads or like a side guardrail, somebody probably hit it or something like that. Or they're doing some kind of paving. Look like they're doing paving. I see one of those like roller trucks up here. Does anybody else have any other questions, concerns, criticisms, feedbacks? Any questions about Schneider? Questions about JB Hunt? Total transportation? Becoming a trainer? Getting your own authority? Being a lease driver? Mental health? Hell, even questions about the Army. Like I said, I was a veteran. I was in the Army, 25 uniform, Signal Corps. Um, Hell, even questions about gaming and all of that. I get my game on too. I have a PS5. You can look me up there at Gwood High 2003. That's my PlayStation tag for my gamers out there. How did I learn to edit my videos? Appreciate your comment. So I'm still working on it, but there's two apps I'm starting to play with. One is an app called Video Shop. The app itself is about $3 a month. But it has a whole bunch of editing tools and stuff on there. As far as how I learned how to edit, honestly, just from kind of watching other people's videos and just played around with the app. Took one day where I literally didn't have a load or anything like that, and I just sat there and just played around with some different features, learning how to trim and cut, how to speed up the play speed of a video, like when I'm just doing a riding section, how to add text and how to do transitions and fade outs and um, all that other stuff. Literally just play with it from tinkering. I'm someone who tinkers with things. I'm someone that as a child I broke toys, not with the not with the purpose of breaking a toy, but I took it apart to see how to put it back together, how it functioned. That's my curious George mind, as I call it. So yeah, literally just it was just trial and error, and I'm still working on it. My videos are obviously not production quality edits, but I'm learning day by day and trying to get better at it. But that's pretty much it. Just tinkering with it. Just picking an app. And there's another app I use called it's called CyberLink Power Director. I used to use it in some of my earlier videos, and I'm going to start playing around with it for my next video. But literally just going in there, trying transitions, trying title screens out, where to add text, where to add music, how to do speech to talk or text to speech or speech to text, all of that. Trial and error, stuff like that. Let's see. So does JB Hunt have loads going to New Mexico or coming out? I haven't seen New Mexico yet. But I don't normally go on that side of the country like I used to. But I know that when I have my own authority and I was doing power only loads for JB Hunt, yes, they do. They have loads that go out to Arizona, New Mexico, loads that like coming in and out of El Paso, loads that are coming in and out of Laredo. loads going into South California, um, that whole area. So they do have loads going in and out of there. I haven't seen New Mexico specifically, but I guess I would also say I haven't searched that area either. I can do a search of that, and if you want to, you can email me at gwoodhigh03. That's GWOODHIGH03 at gmail.com, and I can send you a load board video of that area if they have any loads. If I don't send anything, that's probably because they didn't have anything. But I can send you something if you want me to. Just let me know the city in New Mexico that you kind of want me to do a search from, and I'll definitely send that. I have no problem doing that as long as I'm not driving. Obviously, I'm at a standstill in traffic, but once I get done driving, if you want to email me, I'll send you a video. Man, how long am I gonna be stuck sitting here? As y'all can see, I'm kind of at a stop right now. But any other further questions or concerns, like I said, y'all, feel free to please hit the like button, subscribe, leave your links for your videos if you guys have your own YouTube trucking videos. And I can we can all do subscribe to each other. You subscribe to me, I'll go get your videos, and I'll subscribe to your channel as well. Um, definitely it's not a one-man show. I appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciate you taking time out of your day, whether you watch the video for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, whether you ask a lot of questions or ask no questions at all. I appreciate you guys chiming in and taking time out your day because you didn't have to. So I appreciate you doing it. With that being said, y'all, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it out if no one has any other further questions. I'm going to start doing my weekly videos that I do. Those videos are going to be at least edited on Saturday and published every Sunday. If I can't do Sunday, then Monday, depending on what I have going on the Sunday. Like if it's a heavy driving day for me, obviously I don't want to be editing and driving. Other than that, y'all be safe. As I always say, keep between the mustard and the mayo. Keep your mental health on point, y'all. Mental health is so important out here. It keeps you focused. Mental health is big to me. I will always preach mental health. Keep yourself safe out here. I'm just kind of stuck in traffic right now anyway. Waiting on this pilot car right here because I got to follow this car out. Must be doing some heavy construction or something. And I'll start going live too. Y'all guys, let me know when y'all want me to go live. Let me know times and dates that are good for y'all. Because we all have different schedules as truckers out here. We're I'll even do some night driving lives too. Because I'm one of the people that don't mind doing night driving. So if I'm up at nights, certain nights, and that's the long haul drive, I'll be on here. Appreciate the love, y'all. Y'all be safe out here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Watch out for these four wheelers. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Be blessed.